do you get people to do what they know to do? How do you get an idea into the water? This is very, very important because there's a lot of great information out there. But then people don't take action on that information. They'll eat Tide Pods, but they won't take part in community. Obviously, we're talking about different groups of people, but how do you convince someone or yourself to do that which will improve life? How does that happen? This week on the blog, we're discussing main character energy. We're talking about stepping up, stepping out, inhabiting life, inhabiting your community, being part of things, engaging, and how badly we are all needed. I see the mosaic of different human types and how badly we need each human. I was talking to my daughter about a surgeon that I engaged with something with my husband once. Terrible bedside manner, great at being a surgeon. That's kind of normal for surgeons. Okay, I don't need the guy that cuts bits out of people to be as empathic as, say, a kindergarten teacher. I do need, we don't need people to be the same, but we do need people to be, engaged and doing the thing that they should be doing. Our society seems built around making the kindergarten teacher feel guilty for being squishy and the surgeon feel guilty for being hard, when in fact they couldn't do their respective job functions if they were not who they are. Obviously, to get along in other parts of society, they need to come up to a little bit different place, but you get the point. We need people to be exactly who they are supposed to be, not necessarily who they are, because sometimes where you are is not a good place. You don't need to leave yourself there. You need to step up. But we need to have people reach their full potential. That flower needs to bloom. Whether that's a daisy, a rhododendron, a rose, a ranunculus, it needs to bloom. And we need all of them desperately. We so need them. We need you. You need me. We need to step up and inhabit this existence. But how do I convince you to do that? How do I make an idea go viral? And not just viral, but how do I make an idea sink into your bones and make it become a part of you? How do you convince someone to choose? Preferably without being super Machiavellian about it. I have been absolutely freaking out because I'm reading this old collection of essays right now. Some of these essays were written in 1970, and they're bringing up concepts that, I put in my book that was released in 2023. Am I derivative and have new ideas? Maybe. Maybe not. Maybe I'm bringing up things that we just didn't choose. I'm looking at this. The thing is that to choose community, to choose to participate in community, to choose that life, to think small, to do all those things was, one, incredibly countercultural, and also it is, at least on the face of it, selfish, or selfless. So you're going to have to make some sacrifices in the short term to reap long-term benefits, and also other people aren't doing it. So you're going to have to push back, and you're going to have to do things that are weird. And if you're building community or involving yourself in community, in most places, you're actually going to have to convince other people to come along with you. Again, we're come to this is part of the thing. How do you convince people? And I'm reading this old book, and it's talking, oh, it's so important to be engaged in community and to have roots and to be a part of the soil and to be a steward. And I'm like, yes and amen. When was that written? 1970. He's pretty well known, Wendell Berry. I mean, I'd heard of him before this. I just hadn't read any of his work. Is there hope? Can I convince you where he failed? Where he failed to convince my parents? Your parents? I was born in 72. This is another of his essays. It was written in 1988 when I was trying to figure out, how low my neckline should be to impress my boyfriend, who is not my husband, thank you very much. It did work sufficiently. I guess when you're saying something that's true, it's just true. And maybe you say it in a different voice, it just remains true. I hate being anything like a copycat. I hate having the same idea as somebody else to a really unhealthy place. And I could give you examples, but that would be rabbit trailing. But it's just true. It's just true. We need community. It's just true. We need you to come out of your shell and interact and be a part of this world. Slap onto your tiara and get to work. Whatever it is that you're supposed to do, we need you. We don't need more consumers. We need more producers. And the truths and the essays he writes are the same truths that are here in 2023, almost 2024. They don't want you to be a producer because then you have skin in the game. And then you don't buy the stuff that they produce. You can make things, you don't buy their things. If you can make things, if you can make a good thing, even if you can only make a very few good things, you're not going to accept their slop. If you get to know your neighbors, you're not going to accept demonizing those people groups because you know somebody that's part of one of those people groups. And there is an enormous amount of propaganda and pressure. They, whoever it is they are, I don't know quite who they are, but pick your conspiracy theory. They do, in fact, want you to be a fat little slug of a consumer who just makes money in order to spend it, has opinions only that are given to them, no self-generated opinions, and whose opinions allow them to be steered easily into different modes of consumption and decisions that will, move you into being more and more of a consumer rather than moving into a more independent-minded producer. If they are humans, they are Machiavelli reincarnated. They might be groups, it might be the World Economic Forum. I don't know. I kind of vote for demons myself because I think they're a lot smarter than people think, and they've been around a long time and they have playbooks, but none of that's important because we can't attack they, whatever they are, by yelling at them or being mad at them. We change things by doing things. being a conspiracy theorist is all very well and good, or well and bad, whatever. But if you do nothing with it, if you change nothing, or if you just seal yourself away in your own little bunker, you're useless. It's just another way of being steered. If you want to make a difference, you have to get off your couch. You have to leave your house. If you wish to make a difference, you have to become visible. You must interact with other humans. There are about 5 people that get to work completely in solitude in this world. You are not one of them, because if you were, you would not be watching my YouTube video. You are meant to be a steward of the people and world around you. Therefore, you must take action. You must take responsibility. You must stand up. If you do not like the they, whether they are corporations or governments or whatever, then do something. Do it. Do the thing. And if you want something to be different, do it. Simply do it. Do something. Somebody will probably try to stop you. Don't worry about it. Just go and do the thing. You can make a difference in the world if you get up and you move. How do I convince you of this? I don't know. Because people have been trying to convince you of this from time immemorial. And some people listen, and some people do not. Will you listen? Will you step up?